This is a Kona scrap hardtail in a navy blue color, where I'll be rebuilding the bike and converting it to a 1x10 setup. I've always liked Konas, as Kona has always had a reputation for good quality bikes, with iconic rugged bomb-proof durability, and of course the pivotal role Kona played in popularizing the free ride downhill culture. Interestingly, the name scrap was suiting for this bike, as it really was a pile of scrap when I got it. The bike had been crudely spray painted, had 27.5-inch tires on it instead of the original 26ers, and the SR Sun Tour shock wasn't functioning. Along the way, Shimano hydraulic brakes were installed on the bike, but were badly leaking and would also need attention. So you might be wondering, why the heck would I take on a bike that needed this much work? Well, like I said, I've always liked Konas, as they have a reputation for good quality bikes and are just a pleasure to ride. For most of my restorations, I try to keep as much of the original decals as possible, but it became apparent I would need to take the frame down to the metal, prime, and repaint it. I would also need to recreate the decals. Rob over at Old Shovel on YouTube has a great video on repainting bike frames and making your own decals, and I'll leave a link in the video description. With the frame repainted and decals installed, I decided to go with a 1x10 setup instead of the original 3x8 setup, as most of the original components were in the need of replacement anyway. With a single 32-tooth chainring in the front and a 1042-tooth cluster in the back, the 1x10 setup provides almost the same gear ratio as the original 3x8 setup did. I used a 10-speed A7 long cage derailleur and an A7 10-speed shifter to handle the shifting. Both the shifter and derailleur are reasonably priced, of good quality, and work great. As I mentioned, the bike came to me with a Sun Tour SR shock on it, and even after a rebuild I found the rebound sluggish, so I decided to replace it for a better shock. I considered sourcing the original Spec Marzocchi EXR shock, but I had a RockShox fork from about the same time period, equipped with lockout and rebound control, and I thought it'd be a nice touch for this build. The bike was originally equipped with linear brakes, but as I needed to replace the wheels because they were the wrong size, I decided to go with disc brakes. With proper size 26-inch disc equipped wheels and new hydraulic brakes installed, this bike will now stop on a dime even in the worst wet conditions. The driveline is now complete with the rear 10-speed derailleur and 10-speed chain installed. The bike is shifting and braking great. So not much else left with this build other than to install some nice platform pedals, grips, and saddle and get this bike out for some Kona work hard, play hard fun. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.